זה דלוק? Oh, very good. טוב, חג שמח everybody. We're in Lag BaOmer tonight. So I really wanted to make a special shiur about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay was a very, very special man. He was so high in spirituality that as much as I will try to understand myself and explain it to you, we won't be able to understand how great he was. But we will start with Hashem and we'll see how is it happening. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay, he lived, he was born 50 years after the destruction of the second temple. So he didn't really see the temple. But he was born at that time when the Romans, they ruled over Israel. And it was a very tough time. It wasn't an easy time. And yet, he became Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay because of the tough times that he had in his days. Okay? Through the troubles, through the problems, he grew up and he became such a great man. Some say that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay, he was born in Lag BaOmer and passed away in Lag BaOmer. Some say that he was born in Chag HaShavuot and passed away in Lag BaOmer. Let me tell you a little bit about his birth. When his father and mother, his father was Yochai, his mother was Sarah. When they were married, so they were married for a long time and didn't have children. And as much as they prayed and they asked, nothing. So after, I don't know how many years that they were married, this Yochai, Rabbi Yochai, right, he was thinking maybe he should have another woman or divorce her and take somebody else because no children, what can you do for a long time? And he was looking for a matchmaker that will find for him a good wife, another one. Then later on she heard about that and it bothered her very much. She started crying a lot. She started praying to Hashem that she doesn't want to end her marriage this way. She doesn't want to go through this shame of divorce, God forbid. And she was praying a lot, tearing, crying to Hashem that Hashem will give her a pregnancy, a child with her husband. So, and then some time passed, night of Rosh Hashanah. Yochai, the father of Rabbi Shimon, right? He dreamt a dream. He dreamt a dream that he's in a big forest. Thousands of trees in this forest. And he sees that some trees are very fresh trees, okay? Have fruits, have a lot of leaves, a lot of branches and this. And some trees are very dry, nothing around them. And then he saw a very special looking man that was going in between the trees. He had a big bucket of water and he would water some of the trees. He would water some, he did not. Some that were dry stayed dry, and some. And then Yochai himself in his dream, he was leaning on a certain tree. And his tree looked very, very dry. And this special man comes towards his tree, and then he takes from inside his things, he takes a small bowl of water, pure water. He takes this small bowl and he waters this tree that Yochai was leaning on it. And right away, this tree started to become fresh. The water it has so much blessing that the water really flowed around the tree, not only just a little bit from the bowl. He had a lot, and the tree started to bloom. A lot of leaves and flowers and fruits became very, very special, tasty apples on the spot that smells, not only taste, but also smells. People from far smell the good smells of these apples. He woke up and he was so happy. He tells his wife, it says, מושיבי עקרת הבית, הם הבנים שמחה. You that, couldn't have children for a long time, I'm sure that from now you're going to have children, you're going to be a happy woman. So he explained her that this forest is the world, and the trees represents some women that are able to have children, some women that are not able to have children. And the fact that this man watered the tree, it means that Bezat Hashem, they're going to have a baby soon. But one thing his wife didn't understand, what is this little bowl? No other trees were watered from this bowl. Only their tree was watered from this bowl. Why? This they didn't understand. So they went to their rabbi, Rabbi Akiva, and they told him the dream. And Rabbi Akiva was very happy to hear the dream. And he told them that's a very good dream. Bezat Hashem, she's going to have a baby. And he explained them that this bowl contains this woman's, Sarah, her tears. She cried so much, she prayed so much that all her tears were collected to this bowl. And from this bowl, from this water, from these tears that she teared to have this baby, this is why she got the merit to have this child. So he blessed them that this child is going to be a great rabbi, and the whole world is going to enjoy from this fruit, tasty fruit that even smells so good to everybody. And exactly, this was Rosh Hashanah. And some say that he was born on Lag BaOmer, tonight, and some say that he was born on Chag HaShavuot. And באמת, since day one that he was born, he was a very special child. He learned Torah. He was very, very special. He was a Tana. Tana means a very great rabbi, okay? Right after the destruction of the temple, and the fourth generation of Tanaim. He wrote many books. He wrote many halachot, midrashim, agadot, a lot of sayings that he says in Pirkei Avot, all over. I'll tell you some of the things that he wrote, but the biggest books that he wrote are the Mechilta, which is a midrashim on Sefer Shemot, and the Sifrei is a midrashim on Sefer of Bamidbar and Dvarim. We all learn this midrashim. We don't understand sometimes the Torah, and through the Midrash we're able to understand this thing. And of course, he wrote Sefer HaZohar, that is the Kabbalistic book. And Sefer HaZohar, he wrote it on all 24 books of the Torah. Okay? For years it was hidden. People didn't know that this book exists at all. It was revealed around 800 years ago. Some say by the Ramban, the Nachmanides. He found this book and he sent it to Spain and to this rabbi by the name Moshe de Leon. And after his death, this book was revealed and everybody knew about him. And of course, the Arei Kadosh is the one that spoke so much about the book and made it known to everyone. So we know that Rabbi Akiva, right? The Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay, his rabbi, he had 24,000 students. And all these 24,000 students, lo alenu, died during these days. And Lag BaOmer, it stopped. This decree, this plague. And so Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay, he was one of the 5 students, only 5 students, all of them died, only 5 students remained, and he taught them, from the beginning. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay was one of them. Okay, Rabbi Meir, Rabbi there. Okay, so you all know the story, Masechet Shabbat, about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay, that was sitting with another 2 rabbis, Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yosef. They were sitting and talking about the Romans that ruled over Israel at that time. So Rabbi Yehuda Bar Ilai says, look at the Romans, how they helped us so much, our nation. They built nice bridges, they built all kind of bathhouse and all kind of stuff, for our own benefit. They built good stuff, and it's good, it's nice. Rabbi Yosef didn't say anything, and Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay said that whatever the Romans did, we were never in their high priority how to make good to us, because they constantly gave us so much decrees. They constantly made our life so miserable. They didn't let us learn Torah or teach Torah. They didn't let to do all kind of mitzvot. So since when they care about our benefits? So he said it's not for our, they're for their own benefit. They wanted to build bathhouses for their own, to fill and bridges for their own carriages and cars and horses and whatever. And all whatever they build, they created for themselves, not for us. They want to take taxes, so there was a man that's sitting among them by the name Yehuda ben Gelim, and he told it to his friends, this conversation. He didn't want, God forbid, something bad to happen from this, but that's what happened. One told to another, until the government, they heard it. When they heard what happened, so they say, Rabbi Yehuda bar Yochay, that praised the Romans, he will become very important man. He is the best chief rabbi, let's say, the first that speaks, the first in every place. Rabbi Yosei, they didn't say anything. He didn't praise the Romans. He will be exiled to Tzipori. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay, that spoke against the Romans, he must be killed. And this is when Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay feels that he has to hide. So first, he went with his son. His son wanted to be with him, Rabbi Elazar, and they were learning in one of the synagogues there, and study Torah, and his wife would come, give them some food, this and that. And then when he realized that it's not safe enough, they went to a certain cave in Pki'in, which is there till today. And over there, they went into this cave, and nobody knew that they are there. Interesting. Hashem created just for them a special spring of water in that cave, and a fruit and a tree from carob. Carob. We eat it in Tu B'Shvat. Very dry fruit. Yeah. And this thing, that what gave this is what they ate all day long, all the time. For Shabbat, this carob tree would become into date tree for Shabbat. Miracle.
Wow.
Also carob, they say, once you plant it, the fruit that comes of it comes only after 70 years. It takes a long time, but on the spot, okay? It's still there. This whoever goes to Pki'in, to this cave, he sees the spring of water, he sees this tree, it's still there. And twice a day, Eliyahu Navi would come and learn with them Torah, teach them all kind of secrets of the Torah. When you are disconnected, you're able to do so much. Today we have our phones. We're constantly connected. We have to know what your mother sends you, what your friend sends you, what your brother, what your sister, what your group, what's this. But in a way, you get lost. You're not focused on what you're supposed to do. Think about this rabbi that is disconnected from the world, not because he wanted, but that, how much he can accomplish. And he accomplished a lot. Sitting and learning all day long because you have nothing to do, learning over and over, and then all the secrets of the Torah are revealed to you, it's unbelievable. For 12 years he was like that, in the cave, when they were about to leave. So that he saw some people outside that are plowing the fields, and they're planting, and they're doing their daily life, and it bothered him because he was so elevated, he was so spiritual. What do? Learn Torah, get smart, become Talmid Chacham. And so they looked in a negative way at people, and Hashem didn't like that. Hashem told them, go back to the cave, one more year, and then they learned. When they came out after another year, so 13 years altogether, they saw a man that was having myrtles. And so he asking them, what is this for? He said, it's for Shabbat, we have Zachor, we have Shamor. He said, hey, that's so beautiful. People are caring about Shabbat. People do care about spirituality. And this is when they continued on. By the way, so it's interesting the way that they saw stuff. It's a lot of these stories are written. You can search and look for them. When you speak about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay, all kind of angels, all kind of birds that are talking to them, and this is talking to them, and very, very special. I don't want to speak so much stories. I really want to give you some ideas about this. Whenever they were still in the cave, the Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay friends, the other rabbis, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yosef, all the other rabbis that I mentioned, they were sitting and learning Torah in other places. And they came to a hard issue in the Gemara, which in the Torah, which was hard for them to understand. And they keep crying, where's Rabbi Shimon that will solve us all this problem? We need you, Rabbi Shimon, we need you. So, we have 2 times in the Torah that we have curses written in the Torah. If Jews are not going to follow Hashem and the Torah, so there's a lot of curses there. One is written in Parashat Bechukotai, okay? And Parashat Bechukotai, that's written there, there's a lot of promises. Within these curses, there's a lot of promises that Hashem promises to Am Yisrael. It says, "V'zacharti et briti Yaakov." I will remember the covenant that I did with your father Yaakov. "Ve'av gam zot biotam be'eretz oveim lo me'astim v'lo." Even though they were going to be exiled, I still love the Jews. I still love my children. Right? All these things are written in Parashat Bechukotai. But the curses that are written in another place in the Torah, in Sefer Dvarim, in Parashat Kitavo, very, very hard curses that's written there. And in these curses, there's no promise that one day it will be better, that Hashem, they will go back to their land, and Hashem loves Israel, and no comforting about this bad situation, how it's going to happen. And this is something that was hard for the rabbis to understand. Rabbi Yosef sends a dove. He knows that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay is out there somewhere. He knows. So he tells the dove, I'll give you a mission. Go and give this a letter that I'm going to tie into your legs, give it to Rabbi Shimon. How would the dove know where's Rabbi Shimon? So he wrote the question, what about these curses? And he sent it with the dove. The dove comes to the Rabbi Shimon's cave, and they take it out, and they see the question. When Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay saw it, he started crying. Why, Hashem, we had to separate? Why can't we learn together? Why? I cannot explain them and teach them the Torah that I know. I know so much, and I'm stuck here. I cannot reach them. I cannot teach them. And he was crying and crying. Eliyahu Navi comes to him. He tells him, I was in a different mission, and Hashem told me to stop everything and to come to you because you're crying. See what's the connection he had with angels? This Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay. So he comes to him and he tells him, please don't cry. Everything will be okay. They ask you your question. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay, it says, that also didn't understand. And and Eliyahu Navi explained him these interesting things. So what does it say over here? Basically, the idea that Eliyahu Navi tells Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay is, I cannot really explain you how Hashem runs His world. Hashem runs the world in all kind of mysterious way. We don't know exactly why things are happening. But in the first curses that I mentioned, that are written in Parashat Bechukotai, there are 32 psukim, and I'll try to explain it as much as possible. There are 32 psukim against all kind of 32 paths of the wisdom of the hidden Torah. Okay? I'll explain it soon. And in the second curses, in Sefer Dvarim, Parashat Kitavo, there are 53 psukim, verses, against different pashiot in the Torah, different series that we have in the Torah. But basically, he explains it like that. In the first exile, Okay? After the Nebuchadnezzar came, okay, the Babylons, and they destroyed the temple and they exiled people to Babylon, okay? So this was because Israel, they sinned. They violated this 32 path of the hidden Torah. And nitgalu avonam, which I'll soon explain it, their sins were revealed. Venigla kitzam, also the end. We know, they knew that after 70 years this exile will finish and they will go back to Israel. Okay? And so all the comforts that Hashem wrote and all the promises that Hashem promised them, they will go back to their land, they knew that it will happen. But in the second exile, after the destruction of the second temple, because Israel, they violated some other violations of the Torah, נסתם עבודם ונחתם קיצם ואין כתוב הבטחות ונחמות. We don't know for how long we're going to be in this exile. Nothing to compare to the first temple. Let's try to understand it. The Gemara in Masechet Yoma says, ראשונים שנתגלה עוונם, meaning, first temple, we sinned. What were the sins that we did in the first temple that because of that the temple was destroyed? 3 main sins.
Idolatry, killing.
עבודה זרה, גילוי עריות, adultery, ושפיכות דמים, killing one another. 3 main big sins. When somebody does עבודה זרה, when somebody kills another person, is it a hidden sin? No.
It's okay.
Everybody sees it, right? אז ראשונים שנתגלה עוונם, everybody knew that they're sinners, נתגלה קיצם. Hashem revealed them when is going to be the end of the exile.
Just in English, you say it with 3 cents. So
Okay.
it's English. So kill to each other and what
They
else?
killed each other, they worshipped idols, instead of worship
yeah,
Hashem, they
okay.
worshipped idols, and they made adultery. They were not honest to each other, husbands and wives.
I got
Okay?
it.
So the first ones that they did that, and because these sins are revealed, everybody knows when you do such a... So Hashem told them, okay, after 70 years you're going to come back. What was the second temple, the problem in the second temple? Hatred. And when hatred happens, what is this? What is sinat chinam? Hatred.
You hide it for one
Inside.
another.
Outside, hello, hello, how are you? Please, please, please. And inside, you can't stand it. So when the sin is hidden,
It's the same thing now.
That's right. That's what
uh-huh,
that's
when
what
we're
we
still
don't
in
know today.
exile,
That's what we don't know.
we didn't
Still-
fix that problem yet.
It's still there.
When the sin is hidden, so Hashem didn't tell them when this exile will finish, will be done. The first temple was this time that we had straight connection to Hashem. We had prophecy, we had prophets. If anything, you know, the king comes to the prophet and tells him, should I go to war? And the prophet, okay, or the Kohen Gadol that used to be in the temple, they come, they check the Urim V'Tumim, they had this special garment, the Kohen Gadol, he checks, Hashem answers him on the spot if they go to war, if they will win it, how long it's going to last, how fast, and then they know everything. They have a straight connection to Hashem, right? So when this happened, about sin, but because they had straight connection to Hashem, yeah, but their evil inclination was very, very strong too. Very strong. Even if we don't understand it today, but the evil inclination to worship idols was very strong. We think today you think to yourself, how come a person can worship a tree? Or a stone, or a statue, or something. You don't understand. But those years, the evil inclination to these things was so strong that they did that. Adultery was very strong. Today is nothing to compare to what was there. Nothing. it says about King Menashe, though it was second temple, no, first temple, that he took a bad woman, he took her to the holy temple, he made a sin next to the Torah. And we don't do these things today, Baruch Hashem. But years ago, even inclination to these things were very, very strong. So because, yes, there was straight connection to Hashem, but also the even inclination was so strong. So what was the remedy for that? Hashem, he weakened this evil inclination to Avodah Zarah, to Gilui Arayot, to these things. When he weakened this thing, okay, so in the second temple, yes, we didn't have this inclination so much, but we also didn't have any more connection like it was in the first temple. There were no prophets at that time anymore. Second temple was low spirituality as opposed to the first one. Nothing to compare. And there was no a livelihood in Avodat Hashem. People didn't worship Hashem with excitement, because once you take it off, it goes down. Okay? So that's what happens in the second temple. So Hashem gave them punishments. Hashem gave them a heat. Even in the first temple, but he knew that these things won't break Am Yisrael. They won't fall apart. Second temple, Hashem couldn't give them bigger and stronger heats, because they will fall apart altogether. And so it says here that second temple, the problem was sinat chinam. If you think about this, the second temple, the Torah was very great at that time. Rabbi Akiva, his other rabbis, Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, all these rabbis, they were very, very, very strong people. They knew Torah. Torah learning was flourishing. Batei Midrash, synagogues, shuls were filled with learners, with people. Torah Sheba'al Peh flourished at that time too. This is when they wrote the Gemara, Mishnah. It was signed much later, but these are these arguments, the rabbis, this is what they were talking about. Okay, it was very, very strong at that time. But from the other side, on the surface it looked beautiful, but underneath the surface, the problem started. All this hatred. We had at that time the Tzdokim. The Tzdokim, like Reformed Jews, that against. They don't want to keep all the laws of the Torah. They want to change all kind of laws. Tzdokim, Baitosim, it's another branch of Tzdokim. The Prushim, the more religious, the less religious. I'm with this rabbi, I'm with that rabbi, and all these things, okay, made it very, very bad. So on the surface, as it's in front of people, looks like they're religious, but from the inside, okay, it killed them. And so Hashem didn't want to kill them in a way, to punish him in the way that they will fall apart. And when the rabbis themselves, they don't know what's the root of the problem, how could they fix it? Now they come to Rabbi Shimon and they tell them, what's the difference between these two curses? And Rabbi Shimon, that is disconnected, that is all alone, he sees the things in a different perspective, and he explains them that a king that loves his subjects, sometimes he punishes them, but he does it from love. The same as a father would punish his children, okay? He will hit him, he will beat him, he will prevent from him all kind of stuff, okay? But he does it from love, because he wants to educate his child, okay? Same does HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay reveals here a very special thing. He tells them that the lack of the Torah, not learning Torah, but to feel the Torah alive in you, okay, this is what they're missing. And if they learn it more and they invest in this even more, be connected to Hashem, this is how could they reborn, how could they feel the connection, how could they make tshuva, do tshuva. Now, we see that Rabbi Shimon constantly talks about Torah, Torah, Torah. And we see it in all kinds of examples. He wrote many other things as well. But I concentrate here on the things that he write about Torah. It says, one of his students, it was very tough on him. Oh, learning Torah all day long, you don't have money, you cannot pay the bills, you cannot pay tuition, you cannot buy furniture and stuff and food, and it's hard. So he decided he wants to go to live in America, I don't know, outside of Israel. He came to America, and of course he made a nice amount of money, and he came back to Israel, and he shows off. Look at my clothing, look at my car, look at my, I don't know what. And the other students got jealous. Rabbi, it's not fair. We're sitting and learning Torah all day long, and he goes and he enjoys, and he has fun, and he has money, and he has everything. It's not fair. The rabbi tells them, come all of you. He takes them to a big valley, and he tells the valley, valley, get filled up with gold. The whole valley gets filled up with gold coins. The rabbis tell them, take as much as you want. But remember, whatever you're taking now, you're taking from your portion in the Olam Haba, in the next world. Now think if you really want this money now, because you're going to miss, whatever we have now, it's usually temporary. It's not, over there, it's eternity. You're taking it away from you. You won't get it anymore. They were all thinking twice, and they didn't want to take it anymore. But see what is the message that Rabbi Shimon tries to tell you. Yes, money is important, but it's not the most important thing. Okay? And Torah is important even more. Another thing that he says in Pirkei Avot, 3 people that sat together and ate a meal, and they didn't say Dvar Torah, כאילו אכלו מזבחי מתים. It's like they're eating from מה זה זבחי מתים? It's
Corpses?
huh?
Dead bodies?
With dead bodies or something like that. But 3 people that sit together and they say Dvar Torah, כאילו אכלו משולחנו של מקום. It's like they're sitting together with the Almighty and they eat from him, from his. You get spiritual when you say Dvar Torah. You don't just eat and you show people that animals eat too. You have to show that you're spiritual, that you're. שלושה מתנות, 3 gifts Hashem gave to the Jews, to Israel, but all of them we get through Yisurim, through all kind of troubles and problems and struggles. It's not easy. 3 things that are so not easy, but whoever gets it, it's a present. What are these 3 things? The Torah. Is it easy to learn Torah? No. It's not easy to learn Torah. You have to see it, you have to invest, you have to teach yourself, you have to train yourself to understand. Yeah? Torah. Israel is not easy. Whoever goes to live in Israel, it's tough there. It's not easy. But whoever lives there is like close to the gate of heaven. And Olam Haba. Also, Olam Haba is not such an easy thing to get. Masechet Brachot. Another thing that Rabbi Shimon says is, is it possible that people will plow and work their day, go to 47th Street, go to their businesses, do whatever they do every day, and they will not? What about Torah? Ela, he says, in the time that Israel osim rotzono shel makom, meaning they fulfill whatever Hashem asked them to do, they learn Torah, and they do the mitzvot and everything, melachtam na'asat al yedei acherim. Other people do whatever they need to do. Let's say you have to get some money, you have to go and buy furniture, you have to get some things. Somehow Hashem will make it that you're going to get it on your own. You don't have to work, you don't have to spend, you have to sweat for that. It's going to just happen. But if Israel לא עושים רצון השם, if they don't follow the Torah, not only that they have to do it themselves, the work, they have to sweat and provide and do on their own, אלא שמלאכת אחרים נעשית על ידם. They have to sweat also for other people. This is what he says in Masechet Brachot. And of course, I told it to you once, they used to have a very strong disease that's called askara. Askara means it's kind of a diphtheria. It starts in the intestines and goes slowly up, and it makes people choke, and they cannot breathe, and the death is very slow and torturing, and this is mahalat askar that we used to have once. And the rabbis were sitting and debating why we have this kind of disease, and various rabbis suggested all kind of suggestions. Rabbi Yehuda says chet'ei lashon, because people speak lashon hara. Another rabbi said chet'ei because they don't eat kosher, whatever they put in their mouth. All kind of suggestions. Rabbi Shimon says no, because they don't learn Torah. What do you mean they learn? Not only male or Jews, they suffer from this disease, also Gentiles, they also have this disease. He says Gentiles get it because they prevent Israel from learning Torah. What about women? Women, because they prevent their husbands to learn Torah. They don't let them
Women
study.
also did.
They used to get, some women used to get the askara. And then he asked children, what about children? Why do little kids sometimes suffer from this? He says that whenever these righteous people in the generation, so Hashem sometimes takes them as an atonement. He takes them instead of, one, let's say, righteous man, instead of, 100 of Jews. But whenever there's no righteous people in the world, Hashem takes little kids because they're so pure. The neshama is so pure. So this is something that Rabbi Shimon, he taught us. Another thing, it's a kind of deep what I'm going to tell you now, but it's a very strong thing. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochay once got out of his house and saw darkness in the world. Darkness. What happens? He doesn't understand.